replication in MongoDB. This is a very simple and interesting one. You can do a simple replication demo in less than 2 to 3 minutes of your time. Replication is the number one reason for the uptime of our internet-based web services, either it is YouTube, Yahoo, or Gmail. Replication is the number one reason for their uptime. Learning the basics of replication is necessary. Developers may find this topic of replication a bit unnecessary, but my suggestion is just by spending 5 minutes of your time, you can easily understand how replication works in MongoDB. So please just watch a simple demo to understand how replication works. Before starting with our demo, let me take to you the MongoDB replication page where there are 3 simple diagrams so that you can easily understand how replication works. So this is the replication page in the documentation. As you can see here, there are diagrams which explain about how replication works. To start with, let us go to the common architecture. So this is a commonly used architecture for replication where read and writes will be happening to the primary. The dataset will get replicated to the secondaries. Secondaries will be reading the op log to get the dataset from the primary. The next architecture is as similar as the first one, but there will be a heartbeat connection between the secondaries so that the secondaries will get elected. In the third architecture, we'll be using a separate arbiter which will not hold any dataset. Arbiter's purpose is for just voting the primary or secondary. Based on arbiter's vote, the primary or secondary will be selected. So if you read this line, you'll be understanding about the arbiter's function easily. An arbiter will always be an arbiter, whereas primary may step down and become a secondary, and a secondary may become primary during the election. So arbiter's purpose is just to elect the primary or secondary. Let us start with the first architecture where there will be primary and a secondary. Replication is just a very simple two-step procedure where you will be starting MongoDB instances belonging to a particular replica set. So this replica set name has to be the same for the MongoDB instances. So assume you have 2 servers running at different ports in a same machine in a different DB paths, but the replica set names has to be the same. In the second step, you will be adding the replica sets using this command, that is rs.add. So let us do the first step, that is to start 2 MongoDB instances with different ports, different DB paths, but with the same replica set name. So there will be 2 MongoDB instances with the same replica set name. So that's a step 1. Prior to that, let me create the data directories. mkdir directory is created. Then to start the MongoDB instance, we know that the default port is 27017. So let me make it as 27020 for the primary, and similarly for the DB path it is C data or EPL1 DB. That's done. The next one is very important. This is case sensitive, so make sure that you have a capital letter S over here. So -- RPL set, PL set. I'll give an identifier name as REPL1 demo or REPL1 underscore demo. So waiting for connections on port 27020. Primary is started. Let me confirm that using RoboMongo. 27020. Connected. It has only the local database. It doesn't have any other thing. The next step is to start the second MongoDB instance, that is for the secondary. First step is to create the data directory for the secondary. Data, in the one we have used REPL underscore REPL1 underscore DB. Here it will be a REPL 2 underscore DB. Data directory is created. Next step is to start the MongoDB process. Port, for the previous one we have used 27020. Let me use 27021 for this. The DB path, here we have the DB path data slash REPL 2DB. Then comes the important one, that is a replica set name, REPL set. So do remember that this is a capital letter, S is a capital letter. So if you miss that, this command will show an error. REPL 1 underscore demo, REPL underscore 1 underscore demo. So the secondary is also started. It's in port number 27021. So RoboMongo. Prior to that, let me do the second step also, that is to add the secondary to the primary. Ors.add host and the port. So we are connected to the primary. Open the shell. Let me do a ors.initiate first. So there is no configuration specified, so it is going to use the default one. You can see in the JSON view. This is very important. My machine name is AMA50 and the port is 27020. This will be using while adding the secondary. Let me check the status. So this one I'll be copying and using. Next step is to add the secondary, because we have already started the secondary in 27021. Successful. Now I am going to create a database and a collection in the primary, and on connecting to the secondary we must see the same database and the collection in the secondary also. So create database, demo replication DB. Database is done. Under collections, create collections, student DB. Oh, it has to be student collection. Collection is done. I'm going to insert some dummy documents. Aldrin, save. So we got one document here, that is with student name Aldrin. The next step is to connect to the secondary. Again, I'll use a RoboMongo. The port is 27021, right? Edit 27021. connected, save, connect. So as we expected, you can see the collections got replicated. So this is in the second one. You can check the host info by right clicking here, go for host info. It will say which is the machine you have been connected to. I mean the instance. So we are connected this one to 27021, that is a secondary. Or status. This is important, syncing to the primary server. This is a primary server port, right? And our current one is 27021. This is the primary server port, that is 27020. So this demos us how replication works in MongoDB. Let me insert few more documents in the primary. Insert documents. So the name is Phillips. Refresh. View documents. We got 2. The same one in this. We got 2 here. So this is how replication works. It's very, very simple, as you have seen. It's just a 2-step procedure. We created 2 instances of MongoDB, but with the same replica set name. Then we added the secondary to the primary. That's it.